Alright guys, so welcome to one of our last videos. We're going to talk about the marine landforms and the animals that live there. Okay, so let's start by talking about the shape of the ocean floor. So the cool thing is that you can relate the ocean floor features to some of the common landforms that you already know. So just like on land, the ocean floor features are constantly changing, all because of weathering, erosion, and deposition. So what I want you to do is use this picture here on the right and the notes from this video to fill out the chart that you're going to get. So what I want you to do is use the picture from the last slide and that information, and then this picture to help you fill in that land feature section of your chart. So make sure that you fill in both sides, the ocean features and the land features, because I want you to make some comparisons. Notice some similarities. Okay, so we all know about volcanoes when we were talking about plate tectonics, but let's talk about some underwater volcanoes, which are really cool. And these underwater volcanoes, when they erupt beneath the ocean, they can actually become land. And if you look at this picture, you can see how we take a submarine volcano, becomes a submarine eruption, and can end up becoming a new island. Remember, jot this stuff down, pause it when you need to. So since we're talking about things that were forming because of plate tectonics, let's talk about divergent boundaries and how divergent boundaries can cause what we call mid-ocean ridges. So if we look down in this picture that I just put the star on, you can see divergent plates. Plates going one way, plates going the other way. Magma opens up, magma comes out, and we end up with what's called a mid-ocean ridge, which is just like an underwater mountain range. And on this picture with the star, you can see all the different underwater mountain ranges, all those mid-ocean ridges, and you can see that this mid-Atlantic range, that's our biggest one. Here's another thing that's really cool. So trenches in the ocean. Trenches are these giant deep formations in the ocean, kind of like an upside down mountain. And if you look here at this picture, you can see a couple of mountains that we know about, like the Matterhorn, and maybe almost all of you have heard about Mount Everest or know, about how high a commercial airplane flies. Then look right here. This is the Mariana Trench. Okay, and the Mariana Trench is actually deeper than Mount Everest is tall, which is just crazy. So, wowzers indeed. Okay, so we're done talking about the ocean features. Now let's talk about the ocean creatures. Yeah, I know. All right, so look at this picture here. We've got what's called plankton, nekton, and benthos. And this is how we take the animals that are in the ocean and break them down into three good categories. So plankton is just tiny animals or plants, algae, that floats in the water. They're the base of all the food chains of the ocean. And you've got some examples here: phytoplankton, which use photosynthesis, and then zooplankton. Then we have our nekton. Nekton is just our free swimming animals, the ones that you know a lot about: fish, sharks, dolphins, octopi, whales, stuff like that. Then we have our benthos, organisms that inhabit the ocean floor, like our starfish and our sea anemone. So it's pretty easy how we break them up into three different groups. Okay, so let's finish with a few more examples. Remember, if I'm going too fast for you, just pause, rewind, do whatever you need to do to get this information, okay? So let's talk about some benthos. Remember, benthos is stuff that's on... Okay, I apologize if you hear anything in the background. I have a very patient class that's trying to let me do this, so let's continue. So here's our example of benthos, creatures that hang out on the ocean floor. Here's our nekton. So here's some common nekton that you might see. Remember, things that swim within the ocean column right there in the middle. And then last but not least is our beautiful plankton. Okay, these are what the actual guys look like. Here's our SpongeBob plankton. Here is another example of plankton. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so there you go. That's all I have, and stay tuned for part 2 in a moment. And make sure that you're not only taking notes, but also filling out that chart that your beautiful, awesome science teachers are giving you. So thanks much, guys. See you later.